Yeah, that's wonderful.
You know?
So you're just curious. You're a person who wants to learn about everything and devour it, and you really spend the time to learn something and do it well instead of just tasting.
The way I see it is, for 25 years after the car accident, I had this mandate of finding like the meaning of life. Like, what's the meaning of life? So in the beginning, I studied all art and philosophy and literature, and then I got hurt in Thailand in '94, and then I ended up studying Buddhism, Hinduism, and then when I came out here, everyone was studying Kabbalah, so I got into that too. And then I ended up at UCSB in the religious studies department, studying spirituality and healing and things like that. And after that, I went back to New York. I worked for a little bit, and then I came out here, and I was teaching French, and I got into this relationship that was very tumultuous. And it got me interested in psychology. So it got me interested in psychology, and for whatever reason, at the same time, I also did a yoga teacher training. And then I went back to school and got the third master's degree.
Oh my God, yeah.
That doesn't matter, but the interesting thing is, at any point during those 25 years, if you said, Ira, you're in school for getting a master's degree in philosophy. Do you ever think one day you're going to make mindfulness DVDs? I would have said, what's mindfulness? Right? I don't have no idea. And then, I was at the film school. Did you ever think one day you're going to teach yoga? What's yoga? I have no idea. And then I'm studying Buddhism and Hinduism. They're like, if anyone said, do you ever think you're going to be a psychotherapist and help people? Absolutely not. And then when I was studying yoga, do you ever think you'll tour the country teaching mindfulness and yoga to thousands of people? No, never. So literally, 25 years, if anybody, even people who love me, they would be like, oh yeah, he's lost, Ira, because I was just doing my own thing. I was just like, I have to figure these things out. And then literally, one day, I was teaching yoga at Rodney Yu's studio in Piedmont, California, and a young woman came in to my room, and she put her hands down, and I saw the crest of her hands push down on the mat, and I saw her shoulders open like this, and her back splay, and it literally, a voice went off my head, and it said, you need to make yoga DVDs. And those 25 years of meandering all went like this and converged into this: the master's degree in philosophy, the master's degree in psychology, yoga teacher training, film school, the master's degree in religious studies. Literally all went like this. And at that moment in time, they all converged. And now I've been making these DVDs and touring about it. But I think it's funny because literally, if you look back at any point during those 25 years, you'd say, wow, that's nice. You get to go to the Cannes Film Festival and hang out, but what are you doing with your life? I'd be like, oh, I'm taking some classes. I write a little bit. I read a little bit. They're like, people would think I was a slacker almost, compared to, people who.
That's what I'm talking about. When we talk about legacy, legacy isn't about who makes the most money and who logs in the most hours, working 80 hours a week for somebody, and now you start off at 50,000, now you got 80,000, now you got a bump and you're part of the business and you get 150,000 a year, and then maybe 500,000 a year if you're a rare, lucky person. But God, I respect you. God, he's a hard worker. She's doing great. Look at her. She's exhausted every day.
The way I look at it is, we're very myopic as a species, right? So when I teach my class, I put up these diagrams and I say, who wants it to say richest guy in the cemetery on their tombstone? Raise your hand. Who wants it to say he was right? Who wants it to say worked really hard but was estranged from his family on their tombstone, right? So for me, and goes back to from the 8-limb path, the Buddha's second limb, which is the right intention. And I think that you have to have a beacon, right, that guides you in all of your actions. And for me, and it is when I get up in the morning, Basically, I know what makes people happy. I've been studying this for a long time, and I know that there's very little correlation between money and happiness in all the scientific studies. So being able to have the freedom to follow my sense of wonder throughout the day, and like literally, if you came over my house, you'd be like, okay, that's interesting. There's 30 books from the library. There's like 5 DVDs. There's in the car, there's like 16 different books on tape. And I'm always seeking inspiration, like things that, I'll go to something and then it just obsesses me and I want to know everything about it, and then I write about it. That's what excites me.